Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, here's a good thing. So let's go back to the question of: would you rather be kidnapped by an Emperor's Children, a Night Lords, or Drukhari?
Or the Drukhari.
Yeah.
Let's see. Getting captured by either the Drukhari, Night Lords, or Emperor's Children. Okay, so that's like
you're either going to be flayed alive.
That's like asking, do you want to be shot with a 45, a 50, or hell, a 5.56?
If the 50 cal was a dildo that was going to fuck you.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's either a choice between being flayed alive, fucking being fucked, or fucking being tortured in the most unimaginable way possible, whatever's going to be the most fun for the Drukhari at the moment.
You got to think about it. You're going to get tortured regardless. The question is how long is that torture going to be before you actually die?
Well, there's like a range, right? And I feel like Drukhari is the worst in the sense of like it's the biggest range, okay? Because if Drukhari take you, you could end up in the gladiator pits. In that case, you just like they give you weapons and you fight and then you die, and that's it, right? In the worst case scenario, you die and they bring you back to life, and you die. They bring you back to life. You
like
die.
that one Space Marine we were talking about.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a case of it could be either like
and that's
worse
Drukhari.
or
Night
easy.
Lords, you could either be just flayed alive, or you can become part of fucking Kurz's wailing wall.
To be fair, that's usually more like the outlier. Like just in all fairness, you know, like that's not super common with the Night Lords, mainly because they don't put that much effort into doing that type of stuff.
No, but they do definitely put effort into torturing you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no, you're guaranteed a very painful slow death. Right?
Yeah.
But that being said, not as bad as painful slow death come back with Drukhari.
I think I would have to go with Emperor's Children.
Yeah, probably.
I know I'm going to get violated, but once I'm dead, I'm dead. Like, they're not...
And in all honesty, all it takes is really giving yourself over to... By that point, they're probably trying to get you into as a cultist, and if you give yourself over to Slaanesh, it's going to feel great.
No, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to... If they're going to do what they're going to do to me... I'm gonna be a goddamn Marine. Like, you're not gonna fuck me and turn me into a sock puppet for your dick, okay? Only to make me a cultist. Like, no, bitch, you're implanting me with that gene seed in more ways than one, okay?
So we're saying like the Muppets are canonically Emperor's Children. That we're saying. But,
I mean, technically everything is canon.
This is true. This is true.
But also, like Emperor's Children, it could be being butt fucked, or it could be like they just kill you and turn you into drugs, right? So
you know, I'd still be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with like as horrible as it sounds to be captured by Emperor's Children because you know you're gonna get violated. That seems like the lesser of three evils.
It's still a bad way to go out, but
it's a bad way. But at least you know if you die, you die. Like,
exactly.
With Night Lords and Drukhari,
guaranteed, just worse unmatchable.
Yeah, guaranteed you're gonna live as long as they see fit.
Yeah, and they may keep you alive for a couple hours, couple days, fucking maybe even a couple years.
Gross. I would hate. No, fuck that. Ugh.
You gotta wonder how you get picked for some of these things, like to become a poxwalker.
Oh, just prisoners. Yeah.
Or okay, fair enough.
Or you just happen to end up on the wrong side of typhus.
Yeah, or that.
Because, I mean, obviously, to become like a plague Marine, you already have to be a Marine and shit. But like, being a poxwalker, like, who gets to choose that? Is that just like a mutation that's just random, or is it like Nurgle's like, nah, I need you over here with the poxwalkers? It's like a sorting hat, like a Harry Potter fucking thing.
The sorting mushroom. He just sticks a mushroom on top of your head. Poxwalker.
Yeah.
So
Harry Potter and the Trial of Hemorrhoids.
Harry Potter and the Curse of the AIDS.
Harry Potter and the Dirty Needle.
Harry Potter fights the crackheads behind the Waffle House. So let me throw in a fourth option on this little would you rather. What if you had an Iron Warrior walk up to you and say, depending on whether you're female or male, if you're male, says get in the Demonculaba,
or be the skin donor,
or looks at you and says, all right, you're gonna become a Demonculaba if you're female. Which would you rather?
Yeah.
You are are now listening to Heresy FM. This ain't your commissar station.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously today we're talking about the Demonculaba.
We
Yes,
fucking did it, boys. 100 subs.
Fucking 100 subs. Welcome to the show, everybody. Didn't think we were gonna make we were just at 54 subs. Like, it may not seem like a lot, you know, given that some of these people have like thousands and millions of fucking subs, but when you're fucking us, 100
Especially
subs,
being a brand new fucking podcast
Yeah.
in such a niche that, like,
Dude, so
you know,
The
you have a
algorithm
lot
does
of
not look kindly upon like hour and a half long podcasts.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the premium, you know.
like,
yeah,
no
and I
shit.
mean, and on top of that, like, you have so many big names in the fucking Warhammer community
Yeah.
as far as like lore videos and
You
everything.
got some good ones, some bad ones.
Yeah,
some
you
some
do.
good ones, some bad ones, some ones that we fucking absolutely can't stand. But
Yep.
and the fact that 100 of y'all out there was like, fuck it, I'll sub to these guys. These seem kind of fun. Like, that is fucking awesome. Like, getting 100 subs is like a random person just walking up to you on the street and giving you $100.
and the fact that in
Like,
the comments, fucking, we've had a lot of
Oh,
people
yeah.
saying that we're, you know, we have that unique style and everything.
It's the
Yeah.
autism. Thank you.
It's,
Yeah, thank
it's
you.
you
It's
got
the
risen with
autism.
the tism, son.
Damn straight.
It's autism and Zins.
Yeah, pretty
that's
much.
that's the
So-
secret to success.
Live
I
model
can't
coach told
remember.
me,
I can't
Magic
remember
combos.
what episode was it, but was it the Iron Warriors episode?
Yeah,
one?
I'm
Where
pretty
we-
sure it
where
was
we
the
threw
Iron
out
Warriors
that-
episode.
If we can get 100 subs, we would do the Demonculaba.
I think so, yeah.
Well, you dirty, dirty individuals out there,
You dirty whores, you just wanted to know about
you
all
just
this.
needed to know about this. Apparently, when a daddy Iron Warrior and a mommy Iron Warrior love each other very much,
God.
You should see what he does to the mommy of Iron Warrior.
So I guess we should prelude this, right?
Yeah.
Because what are we talking about today? We're talking about the Demonculaba, right?
The
Yes.
fucking Demonculaba.
What is the like one sentence synopsis that you guys could give about the Demonculaba?
this is how you create Chaos Space Marines.
taking humans, putting them in fucking reverse C-sectioning wombs and fucking making an adult male in an over bloated womb woman's body.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah. So yeah, that's what we're very much talking about today. But
Gross
also
is gross is the one word I could come up with for it.
Yeah. So once again, a very, very long time ago, that's also in the
For a
future.
Step Bro story time.
Yes, listen in, children. There was two raging fucking cunts called Barb and Falk and Kroger with like an additional E. It's kind of weird the way it's not like the supermarket if you're familiar with that. But that being said, they were on warriors there at the Siege of Terra, and unfortunately, they lived through the Siege of Terra. It's a very bad day for everybody. But during the entire events of their life, so to say, they go out and they do the trader thing. They retreat to the Eye of Terror. They do whatever the fuck. That's fill in the blanks here. GW hasn't filled in the blanks yet, so fill in your own. And they eventually one day return to the world of Hydrocordatus. Hydrocordatus was also mentioned in Angel Exterminatus, right? It was an Imperial Fist world that basically the Iron Warriors took over. Obviously, into Forward Heresy, Imperium reclaimed it. Iron Warriors were like, we really liked fucking up that world. Let's go do that again. So, lo and behold,
As
they
you
win.
do as Iron Warriors.
Yeah. And what even worked out better for them is the entire fact that apparently that world was being used to store Imperial Fist Gene Seed. So they went over there and they had a lot of fun and they basically turned the world over. There's reports Imperial Fists were on the planet garrisoning at the time. Those are clearly false because they would not have let that planet fall if that was the case. But as such, they did that. And therefore, they got some new Gene Seed, right? They got
That's
pure
just
Gene
Step
Seed.
Bro's way of saying we lost.
We didn't lose. It was a tactical decision. Okay. Tactical decision. But that being said, they go on, and that's the main strive for Chaos Space Marines, right?
So who stole the gene seed? Who ran away with the jizz jar?
That was Barb and Falk. Okay. I'm just going to call him Falk because maybe mispronouncing the first name. And he went ahead, and the big thing for Chaos Space Marines, they always want new Gene Seed. Okay. Because with warp exposure, everything else, the way you make new Space Marines is through that, and a lot of the trader Gene Seeds are really fucked up from warp exposure. Okay. And here comes the main character, so to say, that creates this bastardization of life is Honsou. And Honsou was created half from basically the Imperial Fist Gene Seed and like half from the Iron Warrior Gene Seed. So he's a chimeric Gene Seed. Right, that's what the title is. And he rises to the ranks, everything else. And eventually he goes on ahead and takes over the warband, because at this point Falk actually ascends to demonhood, and he says, "Goodbye, my sons. I'm off to live a better life." Woo! Also, Honsou's in charge. And then Honsou said, "Fuck it, we ball," and he goes on and basically starts establishing himself as a presence among the Iron Warriors. Okay, he was already hated because he was basically half Imperial Fist, half GNC. He's like a little mixed baby. You
And
know
that
how that
doesn't
goes.
fly in the Iron Warriors.
That doesn't.
Yeah.
He starts fucking around, and we'll get to the Demonculaba in 1 second. But something happens to where eventually there's like a civil war in the Iron Warriors. Okay, now civil war is probably too strong of a word. It wasn't like a legion-wide thing, but it's more like these three main people were attacking. And specifically, another faction was attacking Honsou at his fortress, right? So you have Iron Warriors defending a fortress with a Demonculaba inside, and then you have one attacking. That's where the story where the Demonculaba comes in takes place. The biggest thing has always been, how do we create new Marines? And Fabius Ballast tinkered with that. Abaddon's usually been trying to find a way to do that. Honsou found a way, okay? And apparently a pretty reliable way, and that's going to be the Demonculaba, which is pretty fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Apparently,
Let's go into the details about like what specifically Demonculaba is, because it's very important to like grasp the grotesqueness of this. Don't spare any details.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what they would start off with is... starting off, they would find
they would round up human females.
find out human females as slaves. Once they were all corralled, they were then shackled naked to the basically shackled naked in iron cages. They were then force-fed nutrients, which would then cause their body to widen and bloat to crazy fucking
Basically,
proportions.
Gorlock the Destroyer-sized chicks,
Except actually women.
except they're actually women.
After when this would happen, it basically turned them into, remember Blade, the big old fat vampire. It turned them into that, to where their limbs were so atrophied that they were almost incapable of movement. After that, what would happen is you would have mad scientists known as
The
savage morticians.
Yeah. I believe it's not confirmed that they're Dark Mechanicus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so these-
possible, but no one
Probably.
really.
Yeah, they're
probably.
former members of the Adeptus Mechanicus biological division. They would utilize surgical and chemical techniques to radically alter the slaves' insides to alter their wombs, because we're going to use the words.
Mess with the
Yeah.
reproductive organs.
Yeah, so they mess with these, and they would embed them with the stolen Geed seed.
From the Imperial Fists, step bro. How do you feel like that?
Reportedly.
Yeah.
I think that was Ultramarines just like covering up their mistakes, if I had to guess.
You
Yeah,
think,
so-
you think the
so with the
Ultramarines are
stolen-
trying to skate that
They are,
child
dude.
support?
That's what they always fucking do. Those pieces of shit.
So
that plot armor's keeping them from that child support check.
after you have this woman that's now grotesque and fucking, after the birthing womb is ready, you then take an adolescent young child, like a child, but like a
Male.
fully developed child, male. You then implant them into this new womb with basically a reverse C-section. So you'd cut them open, stick the dude inside.
Seal them
Then,
up
like-
nice and tight.
Then a couple of days later, the
Then-
candidate would be reborn.
Hold on. So after that, their limbs are stapled, sutured, and otherwise attached to the inside of the womb. And then the initial stitch is closed up, creating the womb. Then over the course of several days, tentacle-like appendages, fucking basically Pornhub, this fucking child.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And embed him with the infected chaos gene seed, and he gestates over several days, and theoretically a fucking Chaos Space Marine pops out.
Yeah, he's reborn. But what's the kicker? What's the kicker, Groot?
Some days later,
there's a kicker. This wasn't enough. There's a kicker.
Oh yeah, no, there is a kicker.
so some days later, the candidate is reborn without any skin and the mind of a scared child.
Oh, so like mentally they like
they're still children. It's not like Space Marines where they're fucking.
Whenever you said child, my idea was that basically they got wiped like mentally to like their. Because adolescence, right? We're talking like, what, like 10, 11, 12 type shit?
I would say probably anywhere between the ages of 9 and 12.
Especially in like the Imperium, probably when they get pulled up. It's
let's see exactly what constitutes adolescence. Between 10 and 19 years old.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus.
Is technically in the range of adolescence.
That's interesting because that's actually higher than Space Marine recruiting.
So a kid between a human male between the ages of 10 and 19 get just reverse C-sectioned into this person, into the slave. Okay, they get being mind you, it's a normal person.
Yeah.
Somehow when they get in there, they get freaking senpai'd by some tentacle porn, and then get rebirthed.
I want to know where their skin goes during the fucking process.
Exactly. They get rebirthed with no skin.
Well,
what the hell happened
I figure
there?
if you're fucking growing from the size of a fucking like adolescent, like a 6, anywhere between like 3 to 6 feet tall to fucking 9 feet tall, your skin's probably gone.
Honestly,
that's okay. That makes sense. The skin basically sheds off.
So get this. So afterwards, the candidates were born without skin or anything, and they are inspected to see if he could pass as a Chaos Space Marine.
What do you think that test includes?
Provided
what test do you give like a 9 foot tall
fucking child?
That's child with like the mentality of like a kid.
Here, let me punch you and tell me if
die from metabolic shock.
So then, if the candidate passed, skin would be stitched onto the body, and its life as a new Chaos Space Marine. Where did they get the skin, you ask?
I do ask. Actually, I think I know this one. But
the Iron Warriors had literal farms of people that what they were doing was they were basically force feeding people to fucking like stretch out their skin, and then they were skinning them and putting them on the fucking...
Yeah, they were skinning them and then tanning it basically to get it to the right fucking size to fit over this demon baby.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, what they were like specifically doing in the books was like they had them obviously chained up, but then while they were alive, they would like stretch the skin and then pin it that way.
Oh,
and then whenever
here
it got
it is.
flabby, they'd restretch it. So you had people who were like drowning and being basically crucified by the weight of their own skin.
So what they did is they fed them, they bloated them to immense size in the same manner as they did with the Demonculaba, then had the fat removed via basically industrial strength liposuction.
Nice.
And then having
I lost 200 pounds with this one easy trick.
Yeah, they were then forcibly marched.
Is one weird trick.
Yeah, so they were literally having to hold up like sheets of their skin, and then they were forcibly walked to a platform, flayed alive.
Fuck.
With the skin being stretched between large poles to dry out and toughen in the desert sun conditions.
I take it back. I'll take my chance with the Night Lords. Let's go. At least I know it won't be that. Like that's even worse. You got
at least I know
3 times
if my skin's gonna be flayed by a Night Lord, they're gonna wear it. Like they're gonna put it on their armor like a freaking drape and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this happens with you, your skin is literally becoming someone else's skin. So that was what. So that's what happened.
My skin. Q Lincoln Park, R.I.P. Chester.
So, however, there was a very, very high attrition rate to this.
You don't
No.
No way.
Was the situation
You
sterile?
don't say.
Did they wear gloves?
So side effects were acute death and horrible mutations while still developing in the womb. Notable changes include overgrown or atrophied limbs, parasitic conjoinment with other subjects within the womb, or just being so horrendously mutated
in the womb.
that the only thing they could do were howl in constant pain and twitch weakly.
So the funny thing is, if they weren't worthy to join the Iron Warriors, because of the horrible mutation and all that little bullshit. They were literally just flushed through the fucking sewers to die in a wasteland.
Like a
and they
goldfish.
they became known
surrounding
as
the
the
fortress. So they just pipeline these motherfuckers right outside the damn walls and just let them fucking
That's
sit
such
out
an
there.
Iron Warriors thing to do, man. I fucking love it.
they'll be fine.
Can we talk briefly about how that's our fact that it says just I don't know why it's cracking me up the fact they say symptoms may include acute death, as if death itself wasn't enough. Yeah, but acute.
Acute
It's like-
death.
I've never heard of obtuse death.
No, I've never heard of chronic death.
Oh, jeez. It's like
What's your problem, man? Oh, I suffer from chronic death. I just die sometimes.
He got better though. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, so these guys that were kind of flushed down the toilet, they became known as a hunter-gatherer tribe known as the Unfleshed.
Yeah, if they survived, they became the unfleshed. It's like, all right.
So
it's just like that
very
Rick and Morty
original.
episode you were talking about.
Yeah. So for the few of you that are just getting into 40K or anything like that, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, there is an episode where he goes and meets an ex-girlfriend that happens to be a whole ass planet.
Yeah.
He ends up creating a system while she's birthing these fucking clay Rick babies.
Yeah.
And the ones that are good enough to go into society, they get sorted as doctors, lawyers, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And the other ones just get shit out. And the funny part is like these stories match up so fucking weird
Yeah.
that it's fucking outlandish. So,
Did Warhammer inspire Rick and Morty? Oh,
Or was it like they're like, oh my god, this is so wild, we need to do this shit.
what if we make this
it's
a
an
story as
inspiration.
fucking
story
Rick and
came out
Morty and
way-
see
like
if
a
anybody...
decent bit ago. It was actually before Rick and Morty like even aired. I want to say. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like way before.
Yeah, fair
So
enough, fair
the
enough,
interesting thing about the Unfleshed is they were loyal.
Simps.
They were
Fucking
loyal to the Emperor.
I guess. Yeah, sure.
I mean, think about it. If you
at that stage, but
think
okay.
about it, if you're a young adolescent, okay, if you're a person between 10 and 19 years old and you're being held as a fucking slave by the Iron Warriors, I think I'd probably be loyal to anything that wasn't them.
But no, so what it is despite their intended purpose, the Unfleshed were still loyalists who built a crude effigy of the Emperor made out of scrap metal. So what it was because they still because they had that Imperial Fist genes, that stolen Imperial Fist gene seed. They were born loyalists.
Yeah, because we're the best. That's,
Oh
it
god,
runs in
here
our
the
blood.
fuck they go.
It runs in our blood. It must have been Imperial Fist gene
Yeah,
seed.
you
That's
guys were the
case.
best.
They
That's
are
why the
best.
fucking Imperial Fist got the fucking
Yeah.
gene seed in the first place on Hydrocordatus.
Well, you know why they went.
You know
after
what?
the
Why
GC
don't
is
you
the
guys go
best.
sit in your fucking iron cage for a second?
Hey, yeah, you know what? Yeah, we will have all the dead Iron Warriors. I agree. Yeah.
Go fucking ask Gilliman for another fucking bailout.
He was just the suicide net. Don't worry about it.
You know, it's even more fucked up too about this whole thing is that the system could also use like genetic material
Yeah.
extracted from dead Iron Warriors and then be implanted within the Demonculaba and then fed to the child.
Shit. Yeah. Not wrong. Yeah.
So not only did you just get
Damn.
freaking tentacle senpai in the womb with Imperial Fist gene seed, but when you come out,
Do you think Rogel Dorn ever got like a chill down his spine whenever shit like that happened? Like, huh,
Guys, is it gay to go in the Demonculaba? You're being penetrated with another man's jizz. I'm just
not just another man, like another two men's jizz. Dude, think about it.
You're getting gangbanged.
God.
It's
So
like,
even after, if they survive the birthing process, the cycle begins anew days or even hours with them again being used as a surrogate birthing womb. And it would repeat until the Demonculaba finally dies from trauma, blood loss, or botched surgery.
Man, so it stops whenever she hits the wall. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Whenever fucking she ends up Dale Earnharting into that fucking wall.
Damn, yeah.
Oh, in which case then she's just recycled in the same manner as the Unfleshed and flushed down the soil.
So they just flay her too, and then the next kid who's born gets her skin.
Oh, gross.
You gotta know, like, above the Demonculaba, they had, like, a little, like, reduce, reuse, recycle
Oh,
sign.
dude, the Iron Warriors were the most green, eco-friendly fucking legion in the entire Astartes.
Nothing gets wasted, man.
Oh, God.
God, dude.
I can see a bunch of Iron Warriors, like, with little pokers, like, picking up trash. And behind
Being
us, like, a
hasted.
giant industrial
They
factory.
got like high-vis vests on and shit.
Have good haste, don't waste.
God. Dude, this is some of the most horrific shit that goes on in this, and we're here. It for some reason it's just the funniest shit.
It's
ever.
called dark humor.
It is
think
so
the most
fucking
It's
dark.
called trauma that I'm not ready to resolve yet.
You're
so-
probably gonna have to edit this out, but this humor is so dark. Like that's
God damn it!
I don't have to listen to the entire thing that fucking sister that. Holy shit. Oh. That's
We're-
good though.
all right. We're 29:05 in,
guys
so
have
at
picked-
29:05.
Oh God!
I'm marking that down. So fucking hell.
Hey
I
guys,
had to cut out 20 minutes of fucking censorship.
hey
for the
guys,
last
question for you: what do you do if you see your Vox speaker? Fucking, what do you do if you see your Vox speaker floating in the middle of the night? Tell the salamander to fucking drop it.
Oh fuck. Oh, this is yeah. Yeah, this thing went down a rabbit hole real fucking quick.
Oh
I will
God!
keep that in. That was funny as fuck.
Oh, you'll keep that in, but you won't keep.
They aren't black. They aren't black. They're salamanders.
Okay, fine. Nocturne Americans.
What do you got?
Oh shit.
What do you guys?
We
do
are
if you
having
see
way
your
too much
storm-
fun with this fucking episode.
We said we hit 100 subs. We made it. We're out.
Dude,
Fuck
yeah.
Orlando.
What do you
Yeah,
guys
that's
do if
it.
you see your storm speeder riding off? Tell the salamander to get out.
Oh shit.
Oh God!
Oh fuck.
In all the ways that could have gone wrong, I did not expect that way. Okay.
Oh God! The fact that God, I could really just I could change them all around.
So let's
Oh god.
let's go back.
All right.
Um,
Let's get back on track here.
Hey guys, how do you tell if a salamander woman's pregnant?
so there's a few things to note from this. I'm gonna go back up to the speaker real quick. There's a
Can't
few
do
things
it
to note
anyway,
for this.
there are no
First of all,
female space marines.
the atrocity of this side, because plenty of atrocities are committed every day. This is revolutionary if this was not destroyed by Euro interests of the Ultramarines. Leave the Ultramarines to ruin a good time, right?
Oh, so are we gonna go into the full story of that?
No, no,
'Cause
no,
there-
no.
Okay.
I was making a note because normally, even with Chaos Space Marines and regular Marines especially, you're taking like decades to fully train a Marine, right?
Right.
And specifically with CSMs, you're still taking like years and years and years to basically actually like train a Marine. Granted, that training may be more soak up this bolter power if you live, you continue. To even make a Marine, just the making of it takes a while. You got a fucking just Space Marine soup you can chuck people into and factory produce them.
Right.
Realistically, if this continued, Iron Warriors would have won. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They would have won
Man.
in every aspect because they could pump out Space Marines at an unprecedented rate. Because
In a
that's one
matter of
Demonculaba.
days.
Yeah. I mean, if one woman can birth even just 3 before she dies,
Hypothetically,
and think about
Yeah.
this. All you need is like think about it. 5 Marines and you have a squad right there.
Yeah,
Fucking,
yeah,
and that's just saying that they had 5 fucking Demonculaba that birthed 5 perfect Space Marines.
and you know they didn't.
And
Like,
and the scale that fucking 40K is, that there were tens of
Oh, yeah,
thousands,
yeah.
probably even
They-
hundreds of thousands.
I mean, Kalangol was basically a planet of just
And especially
slaves.
with that high of an attrition rate to still be what they deemed as successful,
yeah.
like that, they had to have been pumping out fucking crazy numbers.
Now the question is, do you think there were other legions who were basically
I don't know, bro. If
I don't
I
wanna
was
say
another, I don't
recruiting,
know, bro. If I was
but-
another legion, I wouldn't have touched that with a 10-foot fucking pole.
well, you got to think about it because okay, for instance, the Night Lords, they were whittled down to like what, maybe like 3,000 dudes altogether.
well, no,
Night
they
Lords
had
were-
more than
bro.
that. They had more than that, mainly
In-
because they didn't like when it came like the really big fucking like murder fest and everything else, like Siege of Terra, a lot of the big engagements. For the most part, they didn't participate.
Bro, I
right?
could see Sevatar landing, looking at that, and be like, "Nah, no." There's lines.
Sevatar would have said no.
There's lines that I won't even cross.
Well, no, I meant in the sense of the massive amount of losses that they've been getting.
Yeah.
They've been taking like, okay, for example, the loyalist Marines, like you said, there's a soup. They can just kind of make more. They can get more people and shit like that.
Iron
Chaos,
kind of like,
Chaos can't just recruit from Imperial worlds. Like they have to kind of do this. So the question is, not to mention, they spend a lot of time in the warp doing warp fuckery. You're not going to find humans in the warp like that. So it's like, do you think that maybe they would put in an order with Perturabo? Like, hey man, can we get like,
hey man, let me get like 10 of them Space Marines you guys are pumping out.
Let me tell you, because we're looking at this man could produce entire like chapters worth of strengths, and this is assuming like one fortress on one world. Because if he had like 100 of these running at any one time, hypothetically, if like mass scale production and one location, right, and this could be multiplied to however fucking much you want, right? Because all of the requirements you apparently really need are, they had the technology, they could do it. They just needed like the slaves, and slaves, that's the thing they can fucking get easy peasy, man.
Yeah, slaves are easy.
Yeah, but that being said, if the Iron Warriors and if Honsou ever got that, and if he got that fully up and running, everything else, dude, he would just wait 100 years, and with 100 years, he had more Astartes than any other Astartes chapter combined. Long story short, it was a really cool thing, but also it was the biggest thing I guess we can take away from this, that it was very much a factory, and it's horrifying, but also it's really funny how fucking simplified it is. Because on one hand, it's generally factory making a fucking Space Marine. And granted, the process has been sort of like streamlined and everything else, like with the Rubicon Primaris, even for upgrading Firstborn to Primaris Marines, and then also like the new Primaris Marines, General Space Marine Creation, CSMs, or Space Marines. This was just, all you had to do is you have like 200 Iron Warriors, okay, let's say this is a big scale production. You just run out, grab as much gene seed from like anywhere, right? And fucking slaves, which you can grab easy fucking easy.
Snatch and run.
Literally
at the
go back to the
store.
planet, chuck them through the gate with both hands, like you're throwing them out the fucking bar, and then just leave. And you know that within the next, like, give them like a fucking few days, and you have an entire new regiment of fucking Space Marines.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is,
That's fucking insane.
That is fucking insane. Like we were saying, like if there were thousands of slaves and each one of them can pump out 5 dudes on average before they died, that's what, 50? No, it's 5,000.
It's probably more towards 1, but then they also replace and yada yada. Yeah.
Well, they said
with the numbers that they were pumping out, they were probably getting like I would say 1 in 5, maybe 1 in 10.
So yeah, so let's say let's go with that average of 5. Let's say one slave pumped out 5, and out of those 5, let's say 2 survived the whole process. The other 3 got flushed.
Yeah, we'll run with that. Yeah.
Okay,
That's still a hefty amount, given that's just one slave. Now, if you've got a row of freaking slaves, let's say 10, 20 fucking slaves,
and assuming they don't suffer acute death, which is apparently different than regular death.
Yeah, other than chronic death, Man, my chronic death is acting up today.
I know. Allergies, right? Man.
Fucking it's chronic death season. Get the Claritin. Fucking, yeah. So let's say just there's this 10, they pump out 2. That's fucking 20 dudes just right there.
Yep. Now make it 100.
Yeah.
Now make it 1,000.
Yeah, like
now make
that,
it 10,000.
The numbers they're pushing out are fucking crazy. But then, like, to get back on track, like we were saying, Ultramarines and their plot armor had to fuck everything up.
Yeah, so
to be fair, Uriel Ventress is one of the less plot armor Marines.
So we'll do a little we'll phase over. Meanwhile, in Ultramar, so as Chief Librarian Vero Tigerius is sleeping one night, he has horrific visions and dreams of the Demonculaba, and he goes and talks to Honorable Chapter Master Marnius Calgar, and he tells him, Marnius, there's some shit going on. The Iron Warriors are doing some weird shit, and Marnius Calgar goes to the recently dishonored Uriel Ventress. Whatever. How did he get dishonored?
I don't know like the exact specifics, but I know he went against the Codex Astartes. Like it was generally like
because he's essentially, isn't Uriel Ventress essentially like the fucking the fucking half-cocked gun fucking.
He was like the one Ultramarine character, and that was his shtick, was that he was like the more free thinker guy, but also he was the captain of the.
Yeah, he's
4th, 6th.
He's like the loose cannon that fucking.
So,
But it was unironically like he engaged in warfare, but he didn't do it in a way to where like the Codex would have told him to do it, and therefore, even though he obviously survived, then obviously they were like, well, actually, you didn't do this by the book, buddy. So suspension for you, suicide mission. Have fun.
Yeah, so they gave him what is it called, like a death oath or something?
Yeah, it was a death oath.
Death oath.
Him and who was the other guy? Pausanias Lysane.
Yeah, gave them the order to go and destroy this fucking Demonculaba and figure out what it is. And
Like, hey, you two go in the Eye of Terror, go find this shit. Oh, us two? Oh, okay, boss. Yeah.
I like how just sheer fuck you that is.
Yeah.
Hey,
So-
you two by yourself, go to the fucking Eye of Terror, kill this thing that's probably in like a fortified fucking stronghold, if this is as like important as it is, and do that. If it was that important, and Tigurius thought it was that important, you think you send fucking two people with a death oath to solve
Yeah.
it, man.
It's like, hey, your guys' 2-up plot armor should get you through. You're fine.
It's
So
fine.
this is Uriel Ventress. This is an excerpt from the book of Uriel Ventress seeing the Demonculaba for the first time. He says, each vast bloated creature in these cages was female, their bodies swollen beyond all resemblance to humanity. They gurgled and drooled in mindless torment, their vocal cords having long since been cut. Their swollen bellies rippled with numerous tumescent growths, giant squirming things easily the size of a space marine.
Shit.
So on top of that, they've now had their vocal cords cut out so that they can't scream, they can't make noise, and they're just sitting there gurgling.
I have no mouth, but I must scream.
Oh,
Yeah.
Imagine that shit. Just that's all you hear is just a thousand guttural sounds.
just gurgles.
Yeah, it's just that's crazy.
It's
shit.
like fucking. It'd be like being in a Reddit chat room.
Yeah. To sort of like get
freaking
the rest of the
mouth
quote unquote
breathers.
story out of the way. I'm surprised they succeed and everything else, and this sort of kicks off the actual Honsou storyline, which we'll probably do an episode one day in Honsou.
They succeed with help of the unfleshed.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
It's
did you
just
know
like
that
the fucking Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah. Did you know that the Iron Warriors had a demon Prince of Corn as
I
a
did.
forced servant?
Yep.
Fucking, that is nuts.
That's pretty nuts.
That is nuts. And fucking, apparently that demon corn demon wanted to use Ventress and Lysane as pawns to get revenge against another corn demon called the Heart of Blood.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what?
Yeah, dude,
Chaos
Iron
politics,
Warriors
is going
politics,
on?
man.
Iron
Chaos
Warriors
politics.
don't fuck around when it comes to like chaos
do you-
or demons.
how
Like,
do you-
whereas everybody else is
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, oh you're gonna fucking,
I like how that implies that the demon had like no grudge against the Iron Warriors who like held him captive for however many years. He's
That's
like,
what I'm saying. Like, how do you not only like capture a corn demon, but then force him to be your servant?
But then,
like,
but
that
look at
is-
all the other, bro. That just shows you like how fucking nasty the Iron Warriors can get. Because
God,
like, look at World
apparently.
Eaters or anything like that. Like all these guys are like, oh, I'm gonna be a servant of chaos now. I serve you.
Yeah.
Not the Iron Warriors. The Iron Warriors are like, nah, fuck you. You're gonna be mine. You're gonna do my bidding. And you know what? Just for looking at me wrong, I'm gonna take you. I'm gonna stuff you in this goddamn demon engine, and now you're gonna fucking serve me as a goddamn machine. You stupid fuck.
like,
Yeah.
dude, the massive balls on these fucking on the Iron Warriors.
I can just imagine Perturabo just bitch smacking a corn demon with a hammer and be like, no, fuck you.
say no.
That's it. Get in the Land Raider.
Yeah, like the pendulous nads on these motherfuckers is impressive. Like it
That's why, as much as fucking Stepbro fucking hates me for it, I love Iron Warriors.
I don't have an
They're effective.
yeah.
They recycle.
I've been kind of
They
neutral.
recycle.
I've been kind of neutral on the Iron Warriors. Like I don't really hate them, and I don't really like them. Like Perturabo is a whiny ass bitch, but
He has his moments.
yeah. After this, like, yeah, I give them a lot of fucking respect. Like I respect the hell out of the Iron Warriors.
That's what you
and,
call thinking outside the box.
like, yeah, big time.
Here's the main way me as
Or
an
thinking inside someone's box at that point.
God,
But
yeah, we're gonna call it Vox now. Here's the main way, like as an Imperial Fist fan, I'll see it because obviously it's very similar to like Imperial Fist because they're both pretty similar legions and everything else in a lot of ways. The Imperial Fists have the art of fuck you, okay? It's a case of, you want us to die. Fuck you. We're not going to die. We're going to kill you instead. You can shout at an Imperial Fist. You can yell at an Imperial Fist. You do whatever else. The Imperial Fist, just bland face, just doesn't let it affect him. Says, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You go to an Iron Warrior, and then the Iron Warrior doesn't give two shits, but then you say, hey, Iron Loser, you stink. And the Iron Warrior starts fuming and mauling and fucking coping and seething. And then only out of like those emotions, because he lets him dig under his skin, that's whenever he says, fuck you. But it's because he gets so fucking just, like upset at everything that happens. That's why they're like I respect them.
I heard you were so fat you made Nurgle look like a supermodel.
Oh! Video link in description.
Was that from Primarch
the Iron
Pessimism?
Loser episode?
Yeah, Grape Lords of Terra. I don't know if they're associated with anybody else or if that's a side channel, but yeah.
Okay.
Fucking it's so fucking funny.
10 out of 10.
But anyway, to get back to the plot armor chapter of the Astartes, Ventress and Lysane, make it against the demon.
I want to also prelude this with the fact that, reminder, this entire time, the first time they sneak in, it's still under siege by a rival, or is like being attacked by a rival Iron Warrior force. Okay, so it's not like you got to break into the Citadel. You got to break in while it's under siege, and both sides want to kill you. If they see an Ultramarine, they're going to fucking kill you.
Oh yeah,
If not worse.
that blue armor.
Blue armor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that blue armor stands out like a sore thumb.
Exactly, yeah.
So Lysane and Ventress succeeded, but not before Ventress got trapped briefly inside one of the Demonculaba.
Awkward.
And
it
had basically Dark Ventress born.
Yeah, it extracted some of his gene seed and then all of his memories and implanted into him a mutated clone of the Ultramarine who became known as the Newborn.
This is my OC. It's like a dark, fucked up version of Uriel Ventress. This
Was
is
it like
quick
it's got
Nega
fucked up
Ventress?
mind.
Yeah.
Was it like the Scott Pilgrim versus the World
Yes.
fight where he
Yeah.
had to fight
Yeah.
the Nega Ventress?
Yeah, it was Nega Ventress basically. So then
Did they fight? Who won? I would assume Uriel Ventress because
Well,
plot armor.
the newborn lived.
Oh, did
Yeah.
he?
But that's also a bit... Well, we'll get into that in a second. Go on ahead.
So that happened, and Honsou swore to get vengeance against Ventress and all the Ultramarines for fucking up the plans to build a new army for the Iron Warriors.
Curse you, Ventress!
Yeah. It was that literal scene from was it the Star Trek Wrath of Khan? He's like Ventress. So in
Really, right in front of all my mutated wombs?
Really? Right in front of my Demonculaba, really?
yeah. So
Bro, you're scaring off the hose, and the hose are just the Demonculabas lined up.
You're scaring off the hose. You see, they're terrified.
those are scared noises.
Calm down, honey. It's just a salamander.
All right, so at about 8:45 in M41, Honsou he moves to gather
Honey, we're driving
like
past
a
Nocturne.
great army
Remember to lock
of
the doors.
chaos forces. Oh my god, you guys are still on this.
He started it.
I did. I'm sorry. I really did. I really did. That portion probably got edited, but it
I don't even know
apparently
how I'm going to edit this, man.
it apparently fucked up Step Bro's entire plan for editing this.
Guys, we already got called Nazis once.
But okay, so in M41, Honsou goes to gather a huge army of chaos forces, right? To go assault Ultramar and teach all the scions of Gilliman the price of interfering with his ascension
We're
towards
gonna
demonhood.
teach you a fucking
right?
lesson.
Yeah, you're gonna teach him a fucking lesson. Like, hey, his greatest asset in that whole thing was the newborn because it had the memories and everything of Ventress. So he effectively had full knowledge of all the Ultramarine command protocols. All right. And
Whoopsie.
yeah. Oops, all knowledge. Which
God damn it, Ventress.
yeah, and it allowed Honsou's army called the Bloodborne to bypass all the orbital defenses that the Ultramarines had around the Ultramar, not Ultramar, Torrentis. Torrentis, Talisar, and Calth, actually. So all the orbital defenses, these guys are just like
Trail of Calth 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much.
Can you imagine? It's like, wait, the Ultramarine codes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The password is password.
Yeah, it's password 1. You have to have the
Password 1
numeric
exclamation
Codex
point.
dictates-
yeah.
Codex Astarte dictates must be like alphanumeric, at least one digit, one capital.
Was that the? You guys ever watched the Spaceballs?
Yeah.
Melrose. He's like, what's the code to the atmosphere? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the kind of code an idiot would have on his luggage.
Or a Space Marine would have on his orbital defense.
Yeah.
Love Spaceballs.
So, and that led to fucking an entire thing going on with them. But as far as the Demonculaba, is there anything else you guys can think? Because that I think we pretty much touched on a lot of that shit there.
Other than the fact that it was gross, and I'm gonna have to spend the next week of scrubbing my mind of this.
Imagine being Step Bro and having to show images. He's got to his
Oh,
Google search is going to put him on a list.
You have to like dig through like all the fucking.
I gotta be honest. I think the main the image is gonna have to be that one model I was showing because that's PG enough. Because if you don't know what's going on, you think it's like this is fucked up. But I haven't seen any,
Hey,
Yeah, you have to see just how
nudities.
fucked up it is.
yeah. Hey, are we gonna get the puppies back?
Now we are. Actually, I think it says sea otters next time, so maybe sea otters.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
we did say we were gonna do baby sea otters next.
Yeah,
The
with their kittens,
Ultramarine?
puppies. No. God damn it. I'll put a sea otter face in the Demonculaba. How about that?
Yeah, that works.
Have it popping out.
But yeah, so whenever an all life is meaningless and simply just food to be tossed into the war machine, right?
Yeah.
The Iron Warriors take that to the absolute next level when it comes to everything. And if you can't be that warrior, by God, you will serve to make that warrior. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Whether you are made to be the warrior, whether you're made to make that warrior, or you're meant to be the skin for that warrior,
Pretty much.
you're gonna fill a role. and
Just
it's not
remember
gonna be
though,
what
you
like.
may be mean. Just go green.
Now, the main question is, would you rather go out via Demonculaba or canon in a book by an Emperor's Children using his dick as a weapon?
Who did that?
I think it was Josh Reynolds. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I
never heard of that.
I will find the specific book and I will put that reference on screen right now. But yeah, that's an actual book. Now, great, they don't say he uses dick as a weapon, but it's like, and then it described in like the GW way to where it's like it's not explicitly stating what it is, but there's like
He
the
undid his cod
the phallic
piece.
weapon,
It was a charnel
the phallic
house.
weapon attached to his groin, and it was unironically he used like a whip because it was like a fucking Like you ever seen The Boys? Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
He
Making you
he
reconsider
pulled
that
out
Emperor's
his
Children
phallic
choice,
member from his body glove
Yeah, pretty much.
and whipped it around in geysers of blood. It was the
The
charnel
bed
house.
became a charnel house.
I still love that word though. That's such
His
a good way to
butthole
describe stuff.
exploded in pink mist.
But realistically, at the end of the day, I know it gets hyped up, and it is pretty fucking nasty. Okay, we can all agree on that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's started to get to a point where it's overhyped. Being
Yeah.
realistic, yeah.
It definitely was gruesome and honestly
For the
a lot.
time and for like whenever it first came out, I could see this definitely being a shell shock to somebody.
Yeah.
And especially as new people coming in, I could see it as definitely a
That
shell
was-
shock fucking story.
I will say,
that was Graham McNeil.
yeah.
And that is, you think that was like his fetish? Like you think that whole thing was just like a fetish that he
I
like maybe he
actually
watched
don't think so.
Hellraiser and was like, man, that is hot. I'm gonna do something like that for 40K.
The
He just
way-
looks up BBW fat porn.
God damn. The way it's formatted, I don't think it is. Because in all the instances that you see some stuff where they get like take a saying like, what is this? Is that the writer's poorly disguised fetish? What's going on here?
Yeah.
Usually it's portrayed in a fetishized way. This, from all like the text and documents and everything else, and the passage, the book, it doesn't seem fetishized because they don't like linger on it,
So do you think it was like Graham McNeil hated the Iron Warriors so fucking much
Oh no,
that
he nailed them down to a T. That's perfect Iron Warriors.
yeah?
I think it was just a case of he wanted to toss in shock factor and everything else.
Well, he did a damn good job.
He did a very good job. Yeah.
That's a hell of a job. For those of you who are wondering, the name of the novel is called Dead Sky, Black Sun by Graham McNeil.
Yeah, it's part of the Uriel Ventress series, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
This is like the beginning of a whole series of events with Uriel Ventress and Honsou.
The Adventures of Ventress.
Yeah. Which one last thing I will say is what's interesting to know, especially as like anybody who's a newer 40K fan, this is one of the like, I guess you could say like, not I'm gonna say the last, but it's like previously whenever Warhammer Start began, when Warhammer Fantasy was still around, we'll call it the old world. A lot of books were very great, like obviously not to Demonculaba, but it was a very, the title for the old world was Mud, Blood, and Shit. Okay, because that was the entire setting. So it was like you read books, and in the books, it straight up describes people attempting to like rape a woman, right? Or do some fucked up shit. Or there would be some, not Demonculaba level, but there'd still be some fucked up shit going on, like a woman giving birth to a fucking beast man and how it tears her open on the way out, you know?
And this is, we're talking about like old world fantasy.
Yeah, like old world, Gotrek and Felix type stuff. Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I'm like, I know they've made this, you know, the 40K future is fucking grim dark.
Yeah.
And I could see them back then making it like uber grim dark.
Yeah.
And, you know, nowadays it's kind of like, man.
They keep the darkness, but they skirt around it a lot more.
Grim
Where
part.
it gets implied, yeah.
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 Yeah, I've definitely noticed a lot of skimping around the grim.
Yeah, and then if you ever stop and think about it, you're like, man, that's really fucked up if you think about it. But if like you're young, you don't know,
If you're
or if you
just
don't
kind of
think about it,
if you're just kind of reading over it, you're just like, oh, that happened.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So this novel was published in 2004.
Yeah,
And this was the third book in the Ultramarines novel series.
Oh, it's the third book. So
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know it was like second or third somewhere. I knew like it's not one of those that you can you just. I mean, obviously you probably could just pick it up, but you're not going to know what happened to your real Ventress before.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it goes Nightbringer, Warriors of Ultramar, then Dead Sky, Black Sun, and then Killing Ground, Courage and Honor, Chapters Due, and The Swords of Kalth. That's the whole series. So there's 7 books in that series.
Seven books of plot armor.
Well, I will say,
God.
I will say, this is before, and also this is before, and currently we're in the after stage of when the Ultramarines became plot armor. I know it's like talk about Ultramarines in general right now, but do you guys know who Matt Ward?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the entire shit. Whenever he wrote the codexes, he loved Ultramarines. He made them buffed out to fuck. Also, apparently with Grey Knights to a lesser extent.
Fucking did awesome with the Grey Knights. Like he made them feel elite, like they should be. But when it translated into the game, he definitely OP'd the shit out of them.
Yeah, I'm not wrong on that. But that's like where that entire thing comes from. So this is beforehand. I think Ultramarines still have a lot of good stuff about them, but they suffer from like the Tau effect.
They're just so Mary Sue. That's what it is.
I mean, poster child effects definitely overplayed a lot. You know,
And I get it.
Theoretical, practical.
that's cool. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. But so out of curiosity, so we're kind of wrapping this up. What do you guys think our 1K thing should be?
Ooh.
Or do we want to set a lower goal, like 500?
Like 500?
I'd say 500. That's a good milestone.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, and we won't forget if we do 1K. We'll forget about 1K. Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we do?
For 500 though?
What about like an Emperor episode?
Like a Emperor conspiracy episode.
We could do an Emperor conspiracy, the origins of the Emperor,
And that actually would get
God.
kind of short pretty quick.
the life of the Emperor.
Yeah. The problem is that has so much like ifs and hypotheticals and heard from here, but that's unreliable. But hear from that, and it's just
Hey, maybe GW will fuck up so bad again that we'll get our 500 subs in like 3 weeks.
and we'll get another rage bait.
Yeah, we'll get
episode.
another, we'll get to do
Yeah.
another fucking Rage episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because remember, guys, everything is canon. Remember,
No, we
at
don't
least
try to.
according
We
to
don't.
GW.
We don't believe that fucking nonsense here.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay, blood angels are stored in the balls. Tell me I'm wrong.
Ball like the home world.
Everything is canon, folks.
Blood angels come out at 28 miles an hour.
So it's official. Orcs can just look up a hill and go, "I'm a tank. I'm a tank. I'm a tank." I'm a
God
tank."
damn it!
According to one,
The consequence of that video on the
Disreputable
community
source.
has been irreparable. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely just a shit show. I will never forgive them for that.
yeah,
That's not how it works.
What if we did a fucking What if we did a fucking misconception episode
I'm
where
in
we
the ra-
fucking go through all the fucking
Yes.
we go through the 40K
You know what?
misconceptions
Yeah,
and we
that's
tell
great.
people the fucking truth.
yeah, You know, that's I'd be down for that. For
There we
500
go. Fucking
500 subs, we
unspecified-
call out the bullshit,
By
basically.
unspecified people who also combine memes and lore, and they focus more on like shitty memes than they do fucking lore because they have no reverence for it. Like if you fuck up, you say some shit wrong, it happens, okay?
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're going to go and like fuck up, and then you just double down on it because it got you views and subs, go fuck yourself. Right?
Yeah, especially when now especially a lot of new people come in. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Oh, orcs, I'm a tank. Oh, they just think it and it happens." And no, that's not it.
It's not it. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. It was funny, but that's not fucking lore, okay?
But
It's
I'm not going to
loosely
talk.
based.
But I'm not going to talk anymore about it because you guys can get us 500 subs and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about that and fucking everything
yeah, that
else.
misconception episode at 500 subs is going to be essentially a 1 hour rant of.
I'll start making a list. I'll do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking rant of us talking about how stupid people are.
Yeah, pretty much. People who try to pass themselves off as like an authoritative source, and it's like you can't even give us one sentence without getting some piece of the lore wrong.
There's some dedicated, and I will say that. Obviously, we got to test in the good with the negative. There's some obviously great guys out there who do amazing lore series.
yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
let's talk Luton. Luton's fucking amazing, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Luton will
Yeah.
him, the Remembrancer, and even to a lesser extent the Sandman of Terra.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's we can even look at some other like Lorehammer. Fucking Lorehammer is excellent as far as presenting fucking lore in a fucking decent way that's not a trudge to listen through.
We just got a few bad actors who basically decide to
Yeah.
play loosey goosey everything else, and they just sort of like shit all over the community. It's
we
fucking
can't
annoying.
forget about Baldermort too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
big
Yes.
shout out
Love
to
him.
that guy.
Oh,
like
God.
if there's anyone who can get it right 99% of the time, it's fucking Baldermort.
He does a lot of like he makes his own stories and stuff like that and everything else they toss it, which is cool, and he'll tell you, right?
And let's not forget about
and
the
that's
fact
the big
that-
thing is that he'll let you know, like, hey, this is almost basically fan fiction.
Yeah, like he'll start it out with that story, but then he'll go into the actual lore and go from there,
Yeah.
And let's not forget that he's the man that gave us fucking spreading your tainted degeneracy over the sanctum of our chapter.
Well, we spread a lot of taint and degeneracy over this fucking episode.
Beautiful.
Oh God.
Yeah. Now, any final words?
No. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
I think
I don't have any more words.
I was actually
this
expecting this
shitstorm.
episode to be a quick 30-minute thing,
Yeah,
and,
probably
and
longer a little bit.
we've gotten it to about an hour, a little over an hour now.
Nice.
There we go.
That was pretty
Fuck
good.
yeah.
Now, given the stuff you might have to edit,
Yeah, we don't know how long that'll be after.
Yeah,
It'll
we don't, know
probably
how,
down
we
to-
don't know how much editing you're gonna have to do with
2 minute long
salamander
video.
jokes.
this went from an hour-long podcast to a short.
Yeah. Pretty fucking much.
So guys, a salamander, a
Shut
word
the
bearer,
fuck
and
up,
a
shut the
fucking
fuck
thousand
up.
son walk into a
Shut
bar.
the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit!
Oh my goodness. Anyways, well, thank you all so much for listening. We absolutely love that you're here.
Yeah.
As always, if you like us, you know what to do. We don't got to fucking tell you. And also check out our Discord if you want to engage in conversation, show off some models, see what everybody else is up to.
The Discord's growing, boys.
Yeah,
Woo!
boys.
Yeah. We appreciate all your support. Even just a like on the videos is a help, because we do this because it's fun, and we want to educate people on the correct shit.
And
now
if
we
you
may
wanna
fuck
come
some
in
shit
and-
up. Don't get me wrong. We may mess something
Also,
up.
if
but
you listen this far into the episode, put in the comments what you think the most fucked up thing in 40K is. Right?
yeah,
Put
yeah.
it on the- I want to see what your answers are. That'd be
Yeah,
really
I
good.
definitely. I'm curious to see what the most fucked up thing besides the Demonculaba
Yeah,
someone can
besides
come up
Demonculaba.
with.
I know the most fucked up thing that happened to me during a game of 40K. My custodians grew tits.
My custodian all of a sudden got a new stratagem called "It's Ma'am."
God, oh man, I just
that.
oh lord.
But in the meantime,
Anyways, yeah,
that's
again.
it.
Yeah,
good to go.
until next time, guys.
What was our outro again?
yeah.
Huh?
What was our outro again? We had an outro.
Fuck it, we
we
ball!
ball!
Ball.